Hey traders, how's it going? Hopefully you guys having all a great day today. But once again, lots of activity out here in these markets. These markets are amazing. They are great. We're able to have a nice green day today. Um, Fortunately, not as big as we would have liked due to yesterday. So if you want to catch up on where we are on this current trade, then let's go ahead and go back and look at yesterday's video. So did end up locking up the day green. Hey, Kuzar, good afternoon to you too, buddy. So let's go ahead and do the recap part. So those of you who just want to watch the recap later on, should be about 10, 12 minutes or so. Try to keep it under that length. But in order to recap today's trade or today's market analysis, let's go ahead and take a look at that chart. All right. So here we go. For those of you just looking for the recap, not going to stick around for the whole live. Then what we have today is SPY range say 5/12/2022. It says 4 hours ago today instead of the time. Usually it says the time, but that's later on. So here's the image for you guys following along with these videos. That's what the pre-market image looked like. And as far as the analysis, it says, good morning traders. We have the CPI released yesterday that came in hotter than expected. Then today, that was supposed to be an A. Then today, the PPI data also coming in higher than expected. This is all part of it, as we have been discussing, and the course of inflation along the way. This is all part of how this stuff works, which makes for a great learning and experience. Those of you who have not been in these type of markets before, this is going to be a great time for you guys. Okay, learn, adapt, grow from these experiences, because when we get to the bottoming action, there's going to be a lot more of this, which is going to make for great opportunities to start buying in some. And we will be ready here in the J9 community. That is for sure. But let's keep going. It says, now we look at today. Today we have another gap down, and last night there was no significant closes to work with, which usually leaves the market in a seek and find situation. This means that price discovery will take place today. Separate the 2 and day there. I was in a rush this morning. But this can come in the form of wild swings in both directions, or a flush day occurring that shakes out the last of the weak hands that held onto or through last week's capitulation move. Today we will use the ranges to keep us on the right side of the trade. And oh boy, did we. We actually ended up catching a great trade there. And so did one of our members. So what an amazing trade. We want to go through and review that here in a sec as well. So today, SPY range is 392.45 to 390.16. SPY bulls today are feeling very discouraged, as every time we get a gap up or move higher, they get a conveyor belt of pies in the face. This will leave them edgy today and quick on the trigger finger to sell button. This will make for bottoming or tail type action on the daily chart. SPY bulls will be looking to close the day above 390.16, which gives them a start at any potential for a rescue operation. This needs to come in the form of a wick or tail down to 379.42, then begin closing 15-minute candles above 386.21, which gives them what they need to get the daily close. Conversely, SPY bulls closing any 60-minute candle above 392.45 opens the door for a move higher to where 396.79. Pay attention there. That actually ended up happening. That sequence of events ended up happening today, and that is where we ended up catching our short from. Was a great move. So SPY bears will be looking for their final feast in order to get price below and stay below 379.42. This will come in the form of SPY bears closing a 15-minute candle below 390.16. Opens the door for a test of 386.21. The SPY bears closing two 15-minute candles below 386.21 opens the door for a test sooner rather than later of 379.42. Closing a 60-minute candle below 379.42 starts another wave of selling to and or through 370.38. Let's go ahead and pull that up for you guys. All right, so here goes today's chart. There we go. Everything right of the vertical here is today's action. So first 15 minutes, nothing, dead. Second 15 minutes, dead. A little bit of sideways action. Then you get that big pop. Okay, at that big pop right here is when we started to discuss with the members. Okay, we printed already, meaning higher likelihood of going lower. Now what needs to occur is a 60-minute close below 392.45. What does that look like? Right here. Okay, 60-minute close. Now we just discussed this yesterday, so you guys should know what I'm about to say. Those of you tracking these recaps and following them along every day. You get the important close below, right here. Okay, this tells you we are going to go lower. Then the very next candle closes higher. Remember, we just had that yesterday. Okay, next candle closes higher. What happens on the very next candle? Immediate reversion, close back below. That tells you you're going lower for either equal to or it'll be either equal to or the same measured move, if that makes sense. So for instance, a move, consolidation, a move. Okay? So when you look for those type of actions, what you're looking for is an equal move. So in this case, my little 2-year-old drawing here, it's going to look like this. Okay? So right here is 0.5% from top to bottom. Do not count the consolidation. So it's not going to be exact. You're not going to pinpoint every penny, right? But something like so, right? You just want the leg of the extended move, not the consolidation portion. So in this case, it would be 0.5%. And then on the top side, 0.5%. Okay, that's kind of what you're looking for when you see that occur here. Okay. So now, what do we have here? Okay, we got the important close below, the 60-minute close, which happened right here. You get the normal pop-up. This is where how we identify our orange bars and yellow bars. Okay, there's a calculation in here most people are unaware of. Okay, that is by design and how the market mechanics work. This is what we try to implement into the heads of our members day in and day out. Get this through your head. Market is not by sellers, news, anything that comes up on the TV, all that stuff. All that stuff plays a grander macro role, right? Not 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, 30 minutes from now type of day trades. Okay, if you're looking 3-6 months out, then yes, you want to pay attention to all that stuff. But for the most part, the market is just a mechanical beast. Okay, so how did we know where this was going to go today? Went ahead and pushed up, and we started to look for 2 orange bar plays. Okay, not that difficult to see, guys. You get the push. We talk through this every step of the way, so I can pull that up. We got some time here on this live stream, so usually I try to rush through the recap videos, but let me pull this up so I can get it word for word, and then I'll show it to you guys as well. Where is it at? Okay, SPY closed below right here. So I will pull this up for you guys. Okay, here we go. It says SPY closed below. Now bears have full control. Only thing that saves the bulls is a full cycle break, which looks like a harsh move or pop higher. Okay, so now what you're looking for is, okay, so this is when we started watching for the orange bar short. Now there's a spot here I gave the numbers. Okay, SPY has now, right here, SPY has now printed 392.45, but ES did not print the equivalent of 339.37.25. Okay, this means that ES would pop up and print that number, which is where this move here in the SPY comes. Get rid of that. That is where this move here in the SPY comes. You get a push. Okay, now you get a full print and test, and that's what we mentioned there to the members. Right here. Now, ideally for the bears, ideally would be a quick spike to print ES 3937.25, then SPY to close a 60-minute close below 392.45, which would be ideal for the bears to see lower prices. Okay, now here is most people think that that becomes now, right? So we always try and specify, okay? So no print for ES, then she will be back later today or otherwise. There we go. So let's pull this up. So that's where you get this spike from, okay? This is liquidity. This is where shares and stops are being hit so that price can revert in the other direction. And that typically is going to be a percentage type of move, okay? We have a pocket here. This pocket is not coincidence. These are not just daily pivots. Okay, there's a reason why these pockets are here that we put for our members. So now where was this from the important bar, right? That 60-minute closing bar that failed. Okay, the important bar. Now where do we go to? Okay, look at where the high of this candle is. We're at about 0.75%. Not a coincidence of how this stuff occurs. Okay, so we ended up failing that. And right there on that fail is where there was an amazing short setup. Let me pull that chart up for you guys. All right, so here we go. That would be this chart, and that is right here. So here is at 39, 37, 25. So when we were discussing that with the members was right here. Okay, then we pulled back, came back up. Right here we started to tell them. Best case would be for the bears to come up, print this number, and get that pullback lower. Okay, now that is the print. We've seen that and discussed that many, many times. The differences between the prints, okay, here is where the print did not occur, then it did, and you got the pullback. That means you're going to typically revert back or a long period of consolidation. We've talked about that in these videos many times. Okay, when you see this action right here, if you're bullish on the name and you want this to continue to go higher, what you want this to do is push up, close with a full-bodied candle. Meaning, what is a full-bodied candle? Something like, I got magnetism on, so it's extending the candles, but something like that. Very next candle, something like that, with a tailing, weakening action. Then what that's going to do is that it's going to revert you to start to do a little bit of consolidation. You get a next leg, you get that pullback, and that's where we go back to our structure talk. Okay, if that structure there holds, you're going to see this continue and go higher. Or a pop up if that structure is not going to hold, and you'll revert back down to where that initial test line that broke right here. Okay, not difficult, guys. Not difficult at all to read these markets. You just need the proper education. So once we saw that happen, okay, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and tell the members, wait for the next orange bar setup, which we did. Happened right here. So as this price was pushing up, got short, ended up getting stopped out on that first trade, and stepped out. Had a couple conference calls come in really quick, so stepped out, got stopped out on that trade, came back. We was like right here after the conference call. It was only a few minutes later. Here, started to see this orange bar forming. Went ahead and took another short position right there. It was like right here, right there. Took another short position. Quite unfortunate on this one. So if you guys saw yesterday's video, we discussed this, or I discussed this, how this works for me, right? For me, this in my career in this, I have had a trigger. So that same trigger has been with me for decades. Okay, in that trigger, what I end up doing is I end up making errors if I miss a few trades, which you saw yesterday in that max loss. Okay, that is kind of one of my emotional triggers. The rest I have kind of dealt with pretty good, but that one just lingers on, and it's just part of being a human being. So I missed 3 trades due to outside factors, due to myself, etc., and then it causes me to go ahead and make an error or two, which was yesterday's max loss. So how do I break that cycle? Right? How do I break myself from continuing on a red streak or continuing on making mistakes? I have a rule set, which I discussed in yesterday's Apex video. Okay, that rule set for me is come on in the next day and just try and simply lock up a green day, right? $1. Okay, seems easy, but when you're first starting out, now I remember when I first implemented this rule, I was trading stocks years back. This was the hardest thing for me, right? just to come in after a bad day, not wanting to make it all back, or even a majority of it, or anything that makes you feel good back, right? Just have the discipline enough to come on in, lock up a green day, and follow the process without making any errors. Okay, it's not the same thing as just taking a scalp and being green. The point is not the $1. The point is that as a human being, you are going to make mistakes. You are going to continuously make mistakes. Okay, and when you make those mistakes, the natural tendency is to correct them. Okay, your natural tendency is going to be, I need to do better or feel better at least. You might think you're doing better, but your brain is going to start, I need to do better for this to get that feeling back, right? Like I'm back in the seat. I'm in control is what we look for as human beings. So the reason I implemented that rule is because I would have streaks, right? It would just give me, I would just need to be triggered once, like yesterday's max loss, and that would turn into 4 or 5 red days of the same before I finally ended up breaking out of that. And that was quite unfortunate because that was very unnecessary. Okay, all those losses during that time period in my career were completely unnecessary. Oh, excuse me. So to wrap that back around, what today's, if you saw yesterday's Apex video when we were discussing it, that was today's plan. Just come in, trade a solid plan without making any errors, and make sure I'm still in the driver's seat. Okay, and that's what I did. Oh, got stopped out there. No big deal. Took another trade there, but here's where the unfortunate part comes in. Could not get any type of size on this. No, was not going to risk going into a red streak. Unfortunately, it was such a great move, but I ended up taking profit. Following the rules, with those of you members know, are simple 5 points. So I got out right there. And then just to see that and then see this move, it is a little bit like daunting, but it's not the first time that's happened to me. And that's typically how it goes. So there was actually a time there where I would have a max loss day or be in the middle of a red streak and then just take a day or two off, and that's when I would miss these type of things. So this is kind of my routine as a trader, right? I'll make a mistake next day or the day after, some amazing move in the markets that I just not a part of, and this is no different to that. So nonetheless, still ended up locking up a good green day. 600 in the Apex account, the big Apex account, and in the other two, actually ended up taking this short, this long. Shoot, forgot which one. I think it was this short. And the other two. So those are green, $100 each. The small account challenge, 5K account, that one is $106.25 green using the copier system. So important there, in the copier you can actually divert between MES and ES. So you can have the ES chart up and trade the MES, which is what I did today. Went ahead and in the big Apex account, traded the ES, and in the other two, just to make sure I don't make any errors or continue on with the red streak in those, I went with MES. So it took 5 contracts of MES on the 2 smaller accounts. The other one of them is a 25K, but that one only has a $1,500 max drawdown. So that one is very tight on the risk. As you guys have seen all week, that one is nicely green. We should be getting that funded here in the next couple of days. And in the actual live small account challenge, that one is up 600 for the week. Just started that one on Monday or so. So again, another tiny account. Building that one up. Good plan is to build up all 3 of these counts to 100K each. You guys will see that here for those of you that stick around for the next year or so. So let me go ahead and pull that up. We can finish off this recap for those who just want to know what's going on today. So there is the chart. So there's a 600. Oh, right there. There's a 600. That's the big Apex account. 106. Again, we use this right here in this window as trade copier, so you can see how it switches to MES right here. So if I turn these off, it goes to ES. If I turn them on, it goes to MES, depending how much risk you want to trade. And when you trade on your master window, right, all the other windows or all the other accounts will be automatic. So all the other accounts will be automatically, which that's what we did here. This was an ES trade, and these two were MES, because we knew we were expecting some wide range today. And yeah, boy, were we right, because each one of these candles were 5-10 point swings. So not something you want to take on a small account like this. So that was a good one. Ended up net, what was it, $812 or so. But very unfortunate on that large Apex account. That should have been the one that was a quite nice one today. But oh well, we got lots more of this. So today's not over. Next few weeks is not over. Lot more of this volatility, guys. If you're following our inflation analysis and what we're looking for before we start to put into all this. So let's get back to the chart. All right, here we go. Now the thresholds. I know some of you have been asked about the thresholds a few times. So if you see these lines, these are not pivots. These tiny gray lines, those are the thresholds we're looking for. Okay, so ideally what you're looking for is that first bar to come in. It gives you a threshold. Okay, the threshold is right here, this yellow portion. Okay, here is your thresholds. So orange bar comes in, threshold. I just marked it out with a gray line so I know what they are. Each color means something on our charts. So that was threshold 1. Ideally, for the A formation setup that we look for and that we trade here, is what you're looking for is that first threshold to actually hit and print like we did here. Okay, that is ideally. Again, some of them, like yesterday, right? Yesterday's great short setup that started my whole triggering mess did not print. Oh, I already removed the threshold, but it was something like that. It was like right just above it. So sometimes they're not going to hint, but just so you guys know what we're looking for and how the calculations work. Best case scenario, what you're looking for is that threshold to actually print and puncture, just like we did here. This is a perfect scenario. Okay, so you'll have the first bar, whether it's the yellow bar, orange bar setup, same thing. First bar, then you get that A formation, right? Right leg. Again, this is all inverse, so this is right leg this way rather than the other way. Inverse. This one, you want this to push through threshold 1, not quite get to threshold 2. So sometimes like something just like that, and revert back in the other direction. Okay, it's the same thing as our 2 yellow bar plays. That is your best case scenario where you can go up a little bit heavier. If you're looking to press, if you're still building your account, you just want to stick with your normal. But then you set your trailing stop like we did here, and you can see what an amazing trade this gives you. So all the way from entry, which was this purple line or better, you ride that all the way down, and that was just about, that was until 53 points until the actual stop was hit, if you just trailed it, or depending where you got out. So anywhere between 50 and 60 points. Doesn't get much better than that, guys. What a great trade there. Those are the ones that make your quarter, make your month, make your year for that matter. So very unfortunate to have that error yesterday in the Apex account, because that, again, now that cost us opportunity today. That becomes an opportunity cost. Had we taken, let's say, 25 contracts today on this move, that would have put us well over 20K on that account. So unfortunate, but we'll see what tomorrow brings, or later today. Again, the daily plan on the SPY analysis was for a daily hammer to come in. So that daily hammer is now over. Does not really look like it's going to set up. I'll pull that up here in a sec. But that doesn't take away the lower number that needs to be hit. So if we get down there, let's say we get a 2 yellow bar setup. I'll show you that. We actually have that forming now as well. Remember from yesterday's video, exact same rules apply. Let me get a drink of water, guys, one moment. Alright, so you remove all this. There we go. Thresholds have already been hit, so thresholds are coming off. Now I talked about them on the video. So same thing yesterday. Remember we took that mini A, no difference in this one here, right? But as we discussed in the Apex video yesterday. Big A, formation, you want to see that break. Okay, so now that puts you our first yellow bar of the morning. We are still inside of that yellow bar. Okay, so let's see if this comes down, and we are looking for this pocket to fill, which puts SPY right in that pocket we had of 379.42. Okay, that'll put us right down in here in this zone on this ES. Should make for one amazing trade. We shall see. So here's coming in a yellow bar now. Let's write these thresholds to see if we catch this one. You guys might catch a live trade here. What was that? 22,624. Okay, just so I have a reference point. And right up here is the thresholds. Hover your mouse over that bar. That gives you a 15.29. So 15 and a quarter. You take that from that specific bar. Comes out to 15 and a quarter. Oh, let me zoom in some. Here we go. Exactly what we just talked about on that orange trade too. Pay attention here. So 15 and a quarter. Right? What did we say? You wanted to print, puncture a little bit, but not really go all the way through. Right? So where's the next threshold? 30 and a half. So from that bar exactly, take that down. 30 and a half. Literally what we just talked about a few minutes ago. Okay? A formation, right leg break to that threshold, get right near it, and then revert. Okay? And this is going to come back. You want this to build structure. Your stop is following along. Somewhere in here you want this to hold. That's an add back spot, and then this runs. Oh, look at that yellow bar. That's really going. Might not get an entry on that. I like it when the yellow bar is a little bit smaller. But let's go ahead and prep this anyways. 22677. All right. Gonna go ahead and try this one. Get the windows prepped. Pull that up for you guys. There we go. Still watching and waiting. This is actually a bit of a wider move, so let's see what the order book looks like. Go. I'll reset the DOM here. We need one of those, some of that music. Oh, Harmonic Chaos. Hi, dude. I'm the only one who made the comment about the origins of the mask. I wasn't trying to be rude, just telling others about the true history of the... Okay. I am trying to understand what your strategy is, but still lost. Oh, perfect. We can go ahead and explain. We actually have a setup coming in now. Let me pull up that chart. And yeah, we didn't take offense to your comment. Just have to delete that. Just, had nothing to do with trading. So if it's not going to be trading related, we're going to delete all comments. But let's go ahead and pull up the chart. We actually have a formation forming now that we might be jumping into. So here goes the chart. So essentially we have our indicator here, and what we typically look for is first yellow bar, right? This will give us in formation like so. call this the A formation. You want that right leg to break. Then you want a consolidation period of some sort. And then that second yellow bar, that is your entry bar. Right there, anywhere down in this zone is your entry. Okay, and you're looking for a reversion back up higher. Just like we have here. Okay, first yellow bar, move up. Okay, and create your A formation. Right leg to break. Consolidation period here. You want this to come down and revert back up like so. The stop is this red line. The stop with sets and trails automatically with price all the way up like you had on this short trade here. Essentially exactly the same thing, inverse to what we just traded, or what we're looking at now. This was exactly what happened here. First orange bar, okay, you want that second orange bar. In this case, we got a third one, but same thing. A formation, push, consolidation period, and revert back downward. And that trailing stop trailed it just like so, and got hit somewhere right up in here. Not too bad, especially with these that are automated. So we do have one of these automated. Go ahead and pull this up. Waiting for an entry. That was probably the entry spot there. Let me give it another moment here. See if we get a flushing candle of some sort. You can see the stop is now starting to adjust. See how the stop was originally down here at 30. The original price was 30.6425. Now it's 30.66. As this consolidates more and more, it's reading the price action. It's reading each and every single one of these closes, and it'll start to adjust little by little. Notice the 15-minute close is above the threshold we just posted. How do you know which A is the one to jump in? Good question. So the first in the sequence. Again, if you're not a member, I know it's a little bit difficult to understand. First in the sequence. So every day we're going to get a sequence of events. Let's go to yesterday. Okay. This is where, if you go back and watch that Apex video so you can see what a bad trade looks like, what the error was yesterday. But essentially, you're going to have the first bar that comes in on the day. That is going to be the start of, that is going to be the start of the sequencing, okay? Then you want to see the next yellow bar after that low breaks. So you're going to have an A formation is what you're looking for, just like we had here, okay? You want this original yellow bar's low to break, okay, which would be the right leg of the A. You want this yellow bar to break the previous low, and then that's going to be where your reversion zone comes into play at or near the thresholds that we posted. So in this case, for today's trade that's going on right now, look at that. That was a nice one. Right here. So these two gray lines, these white lines are the thresholds. Where do the thresholds come from? Again, it's all built into the indicator. Right here, hover your mouse, and the thresholds come right on top. Okay, then you mark those out. These are going to be automatically marked here soon, kind of like you see here. So every time my signal comes in, threshold will be automatically marked for the next release. But for now, this is what we have. You want to see that those gray lines get hit. Ideally, print and puncture right through, just like we have here. So let's go ahead, pay attention. So you asked, how do you know when to start? So here goes bar 1, right? Here goes bar 2. So this would be, or sorry, it was right here. My apologies, guys. The market opened, and then right here is the other yellow bar. You don't see it because we don't trade, and we turned it off on the algorithm and bot just so that members aren't taking higher risk trades. Okay, you don't want to trade anything during this time period, for our strategies at least. We don't trade that first 15 minutes or so, unless we're doing some type of speculation play and just jumping in with momentum or something. But nothing for our strategies do you want to trade that first 15, 20, 30 minutes. So the other yellow bar was actually right here. So once that happens, then that goes ahead and takes that sequence off. The counter starts back over from 0. It's 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3 is the counter. So in this case, this would be 1, right? Because now it has already been reset. This would be 1. Here goes another one. What you're looking for is that A formation to form. That previous low to be taken out, like we did here. That threshold, or this gray line, to be printed or slightly pushed through, a consolidation period. You grab that second yellow bar long, take profits at 5 points, 10 points, or the percentages if you use percentages, 30 points, 50 points, 100 points, depending on your sizing, right? But that is essentially the whole strategy behind the yellow bars. Let's remove that. There we go. Drew on the wrong bar. There we go. So, yellow bar, you'll see the thresholds come up here. Put them, and you just sit and wait and be patient. Be patient until that A formation forms in. Previous low is taken out. Next yellow bar. Really, really pretty cool and easy to see. Not difficult at all. Is the indicator, let's see here, harmonic chaos. Is the indicator for sell? How long does it take to learn it? It depends on the members. To be honest, can't give you a timeline. It's really not difficult to learn at all. Some people catch on pretty quickly. Others take a little bit longer. And then, yes, we actually do have the whole analysis service and all of our indicators. Let me put that up for you. Here we go. So here goes that structure period we were talking about in the previous videos, forming now. There we go. Click on that link if you want to join up. That's for the monthly analysis and also all the indicators. All the indicators built into one. Okay, so now let's see this structure. Notice we got no print, consolidation period. Let's see what we get here. We got about 15-20 minutes before the next move, so plays perfectly here. This is either going to fail or push up. I'm going to try and look at this structure point. Look for an entry here. Sure thing. You're very welcome. Harmonic Chaos.
Order filled.
All right, grabbing along here. See if this builds up any structure. See if we get our first profit take at 5 points. Take a look. Let's see what the higher time frame looks like. Right. It's approaching the stop. Let's see how this looks. Really need to put up some of that elevator music. That would be nice.
Stop filled.
Okay, stop was filled there. Candle has not closed yet, so we might give it another entry. Typically around this time, so 217 or so, you're going to see a liquidity move like this.
Order filled.
All right, there we go. Trying that again. See if we get a full engulfing bar here and this continues. If not, stop is right here, right at the lows. Only looking for that engulfing bar for that to continue. Otherwise, we'll just wait and let it settle out. Might end up doing one of those like Thursday, was it? Thursday? Let's see, I'll pull that up for you guys. I think that was Thursday. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See if we end up getting one of these. What day was it? Ah, this one. Right, where you get the move. This is kind of what's happening now. You get the move, first leg, breaks, and then you'll get another quick break lower before you start to get the uptrend to start to form. So something like that. Let's see where we're at with it. There we go. Pull up the higher time frame. Still just sitting. I really need to put some elevator music and figure out how that works on these. Oh, 5 viewers. Not bad. Glad you guys are all here. Welcome. Go ahead and feel free to ask questions. We are actually in a live trade now. And while we wait for that, let's go ahead and take a look at that short. So this was this morning short. Essentially same setup. We are trading now. Inverse. Here goes the first take profit, guys. Come on. Just a hair more. Nope. Did not fill. See if we get another add back here. What kind of candle we get? We did not get the big engulfing candle, so this next candle here is at its highest risk point to flush down and stop out, which would be normal. I'd be okay to get a red trade there. This very next candle is the one that you want to be worried about. So just waiting and watching. Oh, 6 viewers. You guys are awesome. Glad you're here. Welcome. Gonna start doing these every single Thursday. Hopefully we catch some live trades. If we don't, that's okay as well. But every single Thursday, go through, ask questions, talk about the analysis, talk about the indicators, all of them. Talk about the bots if you guys want to talk about the bots. We have automated trading bots. I'll go ahead and show you that one. Let me pull up the trading screen for a moment. So there's the trading screen. Get the bot ready. So here's the automated trading bot. Oops. There we go. Automated trading bot. You can see it does these. Are the only ones that it does. The only automated signals it takes. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So not too shabby there. Let's go back to our trade. Pull that back up, see what we're doing. Oh, next candle had the wick lower. That was its most dangerous spot to fail. Now it's going to need the very next candle. So we have this candle that's going to push or hold. Then, oops, the next candle is going to be that one if it stays in a tiny body like so, just like this one does. If this one stays like this one stays just something like that. This next one will end up being another wicking candle of some sort. And then this one will be the one that makes the big move, up or down. So this is the
Target filled.
Oh, there we go. Took some profit there. I'll look to re-enter this. Again, looking for the same thing, right? Anytime you have a formation like this, what you're looking for is that fifth. So in this case would be, there we go, 1, 3, so 4, this fifth bar, which is going to be at 12.22 or 2:22 p.m. So 2:22 p.m. somewhere in that zone, you're going to see a big extended bar. Whether it's lower or higher, all depends on what these closes are doing. What does that typically look like? Looks something like this formation here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next bar makes a larger move. That's when you know you're approaching a larger move. A good consolidation period with a lot of wicks like this as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That big move. And that's just machines doing their thing. So still waiting. Let's see if we get an add back on this. We're going to see when we get closer to this 2:22 p.m. Start to look for an add back. Let's see if this is the temporary low for the day. Now that you have that structure point built, go ahead and adjust your stop. And this would be the final stop on this whole trade. Oh, too far. Oh, too far. There we go. Okay. Now that is the final stop on the whole trade. Notice where the threshold is. We just printed that threshold, which is high of 38.73.25 versus 38.73.25. So exactly right on the money. Not a coincidence about how those thresholds work. Now you guys see those things day in and day out for those of you members. Okay, now this is either, now that we've printed, higher likelihood of it going lower to the next threshold. So if that occurs, we'll not take another entry on this trade. But for now, the stop is the stop, which is 38.59.25. So in the meantime, let that do its thing. Let's go ahead and review some charts. Why don't we? Here's a Tesla trade. I know everybody's been watching and waiting about Tesla. Some people are angry we are short. Some people are glad we are short. Just depends on what your bias is, I suppose. Right up in here in this zone, we started to break 900. There was another number here. We started to break 900 or 1,000, I think it was, when we took this initial short. This is like in February, January. February, I think it was. Pretty sure it was February. It was the start date of this trade. Maybe it was February, January. Don't remember. But held that, took profit on that big flush day. Bounced back up. We got a reload. I think it was here because I remember it went against us for a bit. So reload here, popped up, went back. Never actually hit that 1156 number that we had, and been ever since then been in a solid downtrend. Apple, those of you members, you've been watching this. This is one amazing chart. Told you guys as soon as we get below this 156.59 starts to hold, this is going to be the breaking point for the market. Those of you members been around a while, this is where you'll see that end up happening, right? First names get hit. What got hit first? You know, GME, AMC. We talked about this to you guys before, right? P-Tone, all the BS names that were all super popular last year. Okay, ZM, Roku, Roku. What else is a crap name? T-Doc. All these names that got hit. Let's go to the daily chart. The IPOs, the SPACs, all that crap. Okay, they're fun. They're great to trade, but they're not investments. Okay, these are not the type of investments you want to be in for the next time, because we will be here again. Another bubble, another long period of great bull market in the markets overall. And that's normal, guys. So I know this stuff hurts to see when you're in it, but all this, it'll be normal. There'll be new names, there'll be new stuff to trade. Just part of it. Okay, so all this type of stuff, you start to see this stuff get hit first. P-Tone last year, I don't even remember what the other one, BYND. There was a bunch. Can you remember them all? But all the names, you'll just start to see those get hit. Slowly but surely. Affirm, coin. Then you start to see some of the bigger names get hit. Microsoft, Cost, Amazon. Damn, Amazon kept going. Look at that one. Amazon. Then you'll start to see news items come in about companies. Then you'll start to see names that make have reports. Oh, look at that trade. Let's go back to that trade, guys. Nice one. Look at that. Still going. Nice holding the structure. You can see how that stop is moving all on its own. Not too bad. That was a good one. So back to the discussion. Then you'll start to see names get hit, news items come in. Then after the news items, you start companies failing or this CEO or that CEO, whatever the news items is. This is just the cycles, right? Bubbles get hit first, speculative names get hit first. Then you'll see news items, articles happen. Maybe, CEOs, all the people's dirty laundry starts to come out into the open. Bad sales, bad mergers, bad investments, all that kind of stuff. That's the next phase. Then after that phase, what ends up happening is you'll start to see the big names get hit, which we are already, as I discussed. Apple, Amazon, all the big names start to get hit. Then the stuff recently added within the past 3 years up to the S&P 500 gets hit. Then you finally start to see a wave of a wave of acquisitions and mergers. Okay, you'll start to see a big wave of that. So pay attention. That's the phase we're in now. You'll start to see a lot of mergers, acquisitions, buyouts, that type of thing. That is companies fighting for survival under the books. Okay, they might not always show it, you might not always see it, but it's companies that plan ahead for the future that start to look for survival. So big wave of mergers and acquisitions of larger companies taking on smaller companies. Okay, or two companies merging together to stay alive. Once you start to see that happening, then you start looking at the commodities from last week's stream. Okay, last week's stream that we went through, you start to see oil. Those of you that were not around in last year's stream, last week's stream, this is what we're looking at. Okay, CL. This is the phase we are in right now. Okay, just like that. Okay, you'll start to see something like that sort, and you'll see a big explosion in oil. Okay, we're going to be up there 150s, 160s, whatever the price is, doesn't matter, but you'll see a big explosion in oil. Oil names, the oil, the commodity, natural gas, that kind of thing. Right as that is happening, okay, so that was right, what was the date of that? So this is roughly February, about a year span, right? No, about 6 months, 7 months. So October 07, February 8. Okay, let's go spy. Right here, October 07, right when the market starts to peak. Okay, here's February 08. This is kind of the phase we are in now, where you'll see a large period of volatility, and you'll see some upthrusting move. Okay, so upthrusting move. That upthrusting move is going to be where the hope sets in. That's when everything seems to be okay. All the talking heads are telling us everything's okay. Things are going back to normal, and that's when the real correction starts. And right as that's happening, you'll notice by the next explosion in oil. Okay, most important chart you want to be watching right now is this oil chart. It's the commodity of the world, not just the US. You'll start to see an explosion in oil. So go ahead and study this through every recession if you want. When that starts to occur, that's right as the turning point of the markets. So what does this look like today? Just like that. That's the phase we are in now. Okay, we are in that consolidation phase. We're going to see another leg higher. Don't know where. I'm not going to measure how tall. I don't even know the Fibonacci's, none of that stuff. Okay, but wherever it ends up, that's going to be the tipping point for the market where we'll start to see lower prices. Okay, that puts the SPY right. What did we just show you in that chart a little bit ago? Consolidation period where volatility picks up, some type of large hoping move, which has happened, then that reversion that comes back down. Literally, you could copy these over each other. Just get rid of the dates. Okay, not difficult to see this stuff, guys. So for those of you members, you already know the numbers we're looking at. Lower prices. It's down here in this 360 range. That cracks. We're going to be down here in the 219, 220. Look in the chat room for that number, or just ask in the chat room for those of you members. And that'll be the next two zones to look and watch for. Let's see. 7 viewers. Nice. Thanks, guys. How you guys all doing? See, we got some more. Andre Crab. Then what happens to other assets like gold and TLT? Good question. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Where were we at? Over here. So this is where you start to see gold make that next move. Okay. Let's go back. Trading View only gives us till 2012. At work, we got more data. Let's see if the gold itself, the ETF, CFD. Yeah, this one we got more. So right here, same thing. Okay, we had a peak, we had the downturn in gold. Right here is where you start to see that where we are now. Right, gold's going down. Don't worry about it. You know, it's a long-term asset, and you start to see a lot of different conversations on the media talking heads. Right, this is a long-term break. That long-term break typically starts after that third wave, which was back here. Okay, that's what happened. We weren't in this community yet, so we didn't have this built, but that's when we started to acquire gold. Now, what ends up happening here, again, February 2008, you'll see a downturn, then the market will start to rally. The gold market will start to rally in that point. So let's put that crude back up and backtrack on that. Right here. Okay. And you'll see those start to run at the same time. Why? And then goes USD. Let's pull up the dollar. Right here. The Dixie. $2,008. Right here. 2008. October. Okay, big old peak, big old large move, swift drop off. That's what we're waiting for now. That swift drop off. That's what causes the gold to go up. If dollar is raising, gold is not going to go up. You want to wait till that dollar starts to go down. Once the dollar starts to go down, then you'll see gold prices rising, which in that point in turn is going to go ahead and bring your 10-year This one's not going to go all the way back either, but your 10-year up around 345 or so. How far back does this chart go on Trading View? Yeah, this one does not on Trading View. It would be nice if Trading View had more data, but Kuzar, like Twitter, I presume. Twitter, yeah, Twitter was definitely one. Twitter. Remember when they had that? What was the news? Some amazing news here that caused this rally, right? I forgot what that was. That was last year. Can't remember. We had a whole 3 meetings on this exact name because we saw some big options activity up here at 85. At that time, we could not figure it out. We didn't get a handle on that until I think it was like this wave over here. It was a couple months later. I remember that, like a month or so later. finally figured out what that was, and that was actually a insider sell. The CFO of the company was the one that ended up dropping that off. So smart guy, I tell you that, because that was the top. That was the top. Look at that. Smart guy. How's our trade coming along? Here we go. Still holding. Stop is nice. No. Long period consolidation here. See if we try this one. Add some more into this. It's the... Oh yeah. Remember we just talked about? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I'm going to grab another piece here.
Order filled.
Alright, long. There. Going to go ahead and use the trailing stop. We got about 13 minutes left in this candle, so we'll see what this ends up doing here. Stop right now is set at 386.50. Which is right there. 386.50. Oh, 386. No, 38.63.50. My apologies. 38.63.50.
Stop filled.
And stop filled on that one. Okay. See what this next part does. Thought I heard the bot go off. No, no bot trade. No automated trade just yet. Now we wait. So that was your structure period. That's where it should have ran. Did not. Got stopped out. Now we see how this lower downturn break comes in. Might be a good short, but not going to sit there and chase price. Eight viewers, not bad. Trying to get a handle on these live streams and start putting more music or items like that. So this is all still new to us, but glad you guys are here. Ask any questions you guys want. Also getting used to the open conversation, right? Just being freely speaking. So putting some music up or having a lot of this for commentary. I think it'll be good. Be good for you guys to see all this day in and day out. Now you go back, you watch the charts, you follow the indicator, then you use the live streams for questions, for demonstrations, for discussions. What'd you guys trade today? Anything good? I think there was a small cap hot runner too. Saw chatter about that earlier. I don't remember the name, but what small cap ran ridiculous today? RDBX, that was yesterday. The AMC. One of these. No, I don't remember which one it was. I remember seeing chatter earlier about some small cap really running. I wonder if any of you guys got this short. This was a nice one. Remember this day? That was, oh, that one was frustrating. Could not get a fill on this trade. If you guys remember that one. For those of you members, it was a 34.40s. Did not get a fill on that one. See where we at on this? Yes, nothing yet. I definitely didn't trade in crypto today. What is Luna looking like? I haven't looked at Luna in a long time. Let's take a look. I don't even have it up on the crypto list anymore. What's the ticker for Luna? Just Luna, I'm assuming? Holy moly. I hope you were short. So I lost, what is that? Was that 29? Was that a couple days ago? 24. About 5 billion or so. That's crazy. What was its price? Or was there news or something? Some insider sold? Oh boy, is that. Wow, look at that. BTC still holding its range. I'd like to see this 25,833 break. Once this breaks, that's going to be a nice one. We would be down here below 17. So I'll be picking some up there for sure, which will put us on this XRP right where we want, right down here. 30s, 33s, below 30 would be nice. We'll be grabbing some HNT as well. HNT 378, so anywhere between 6 or so. Somewhere around 6 we'll be grabbing some of this. Ada, not interested. Doge, definitely not interested. That was some of our best TikTok videos that performed well, but nobody listened to them though. This one. What was that number? I have to go back and look at that TikTok video. I don't remember what that number was, but it was like 3 something, right? 3 something. 33 cents or something like that. It's like, don't lose that. If it loses that one's gone. F will definitely be picking up some Ethereum, that's for sure. Down here, below 800, we'll be picking up Ethereum. But never got in, huh? Oh, it's unfortunate. Oh, unless you were trying to get in long. Then good job. Good job not grabbing that long. What's the other popular one? I know there's a bunch of altcoins now. It's another real popular one. I know ADA was a big one, but I have no interest in this one. We shall see. Really digging this short now. Apple breaking, getting some alerts firing. What is Apple doing? Pull the charts back up. Oh yeah. There's that 139.17 posted earlier for you guys. Let's see where this Tesla gets going then. AMD cracking. Hopefully you guys got that AMD short. That was nice. Stop looking at it after that ES trade. SMH. Yep, SMH broke that level. I start watching this thing for another leg lower. So now SPY has tested 386.21. That was our number for today. We are now in the lower pocket. I'm not going to short here in the hole. You guys know how I feel about that. Do not short in the hole. But pay attention here now on this candle when I pull up the SPY chart. Right there. SPY chart. Okay, you start to see the next candle reversion like that. Next candle. Okay, this is going to be bull's chance. Remember, the 2 15-minute closes up in this zone that we discussed in the morning watch list. Okay, 2 15-minute closes up in here would be the best bullish case. Now, otherwise, if this stays after this next bar and plays around in here, then we'll start to see this crack and go lower. All going to depend on these next two closes here. That was going to make for a good short. I'm going to go ahead and grab this short if that does occur. Oh, 12:41. That was one fast hour. I hang on here for a little bit more with you guys. Should be an hour stream, but we'll go ahead and stay on a bit. Here goes another buy coming in. Threshold 2. Let me pull that chart up for you guys. That would be this one here. Wonder if the bot's going to grab that one. Let's see if the automated bot grabs that one. There's the SPY crack. Definitely got to find some free license music. It's a little quiet. Not used to having it this quiet, but I know you're not allowed to put music because then they copyright you. That's what happened with that intro video. Put a nice intro video and then got copyrighted. Well, that's unfortunate. So I just got to change the music around in that video and then we'll put that back out. Maybe a little bit longer as well. Alright, here's the break. Now again, no short yet. Haven't started any position yet. That next candle, the one we're looking at. Oh, there we go. Chart bounced on me. Next candle gets a full body candle, something like that. You want to be weary of this retest and an attempt to try to get above. See if the bulls fail up in this zone again or not. But shorting as a whole is never good. I know we've talked to you guys about that before. Never want to short in the hole. If you weren't already short from anywhere in here, you don't want no part of that. Till you get a retest and a proper entry. Next there a bit. Let's go back to the trading screen. Oh, there we go. That is coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and
Order
grab this
filled.
long here. Alright, going to take profits. There we go. Come on, fill me.
Target filled.
Alright, grabbing some profits there. I'm going to go ahead and look to re-add to this. Again, shorting in the hole, guys. That's what happens when you short in the hole. So that's part of what our system is based on. You see us take a lot of reversion trades. Okay, so same thing. Want to see this close, quick retest, and see if we get the exact plan we just laid out for you guys. So remember, big full body candle. Just a couple minutes ago, just discussed this to you guys. Ah, come on. There we go. I got magnetism on, so damn candles stick to everything. Something like that, right? You want this right there. Retest and see if bulls go for a chance at it. If they cannot, we just stay in here, right? And we're looking lower towards that next spot, which is the game plan on the day. Okay, that doesn't mean that this isn't a viable, great risk to reward trade. From this pocket of risk here to this pocket of reward. Let's see, let's go back to the trading screen. There we go. See if we get a re-add here. Is the bot taking this trade? Yes, the bot is going to take this trade as well. Not too shabby. So this is the automated bot.
Order filled.
All right, grabbing some long here. I'm going to go ahead and set the stop. There we go. There goes the stop on the trade. Let's see what kind of move we get here. All right, going to take some profits. Come on. See if it fills. Just a hair from filling. I think we missed it by a tick. All right, waiting for next profit to get filled. We'll look to re-add to this again. There we go for next take profit. Come on. It just keeps missing it by a tick. So take profit is 338.64.50. So right here, guys. Right there-ish. See if I can zoom that in a bit. Right, like there. 64.50. So we'll see. See what kind of candle formation we get here. And we'll look to add to this.
Order filled.
All right, gonna add a bit.
Order submitted.
All right, resetting that take profit. Stop just moved. Stop is now 38.53.75. See if this gives us any more of a move here. Look at that SPY chart again. We have got 9 minutes left in that candle. So let's see what happens here. So there's a liquidity spike lower. Stop was not hit. So we'll look for 2 more add backs on this. Try to get 1 more add back here before we get the next up thrust. And then after the up thrust occurs, so here comes the up thrust. After this up thrust occurs, depending how high it goes, okay, then we'll be looking for structure. Okay, just like we talked about at the beginning of this live stream in that other trade. Okay, structure to build, and then this to continue, which takes us right onto our SPY plan that we just drew up for you guys. All right, here goes another take profit. And come on, same 38.64.50. So you guys can see 38.64.50 is right there. And you can see it's just not filling. Look for another ad. So now this move here has to hold. This is the up thrust. This is the one you want to hold. Remember, like a few minutes ago, we talked about that next candle is your most dangerous candle. That is this one here. This becomes a full body, damn chart, full body candle like so. Okay. Algorithms are going to read that as a downward thrust, which will drive price through the stop down into this zone here before you start to get your next calculation start in the market. Remember, everything we do is mechanical, guys. So there goes the up thrust. Just took some more profit. Nicely green. Still have some more on. Going to take more profit here at 38.71.
Order canceled.
38.71. Come on.
Order submitted.
All right, so 38.71 for more. Then we'll look for another add back. Option 2, if you guys are in. The other option is you don't take that secondary profit, right? And you look for that structure so that when you add on that structure point, your average, if you've, and you know, of course, how we entered, your average will be down in this zone, which gives you a nice cushion window. That's the 2 ways to trade these setups. Or you just take profit now, follow the rules, 5 points, 10 points, 30, 50, and then during the structure build, right, if you decide to add, you just got to keep in mind that now your average is higher up. So here comes take profit 2. Come on. Not bad for a live trade. How awesome is that? Been trying for 2 live streams to catch a live trade. Oh, there we go. Push a little bit more, almost to the next take. So for those of you guys watching, the next take is this green line. And here goes the automated trade. Took that trade as well. The automated bot, I should say. Now the stop should be adjusting. So for now, the average is 38.61.25, which we'll just go ahead and get out break even if this fails. Again, keeping in mind where we are, okay? We're in this big pocket down here, so ideally, like we said, we're looking for is for that to push up and then bulls to fail somewhere. But if this fails now, then you don't want to be a part of that. We shall see. Still waiting. Might take this off break even. The last piece of it at least. Then look for the structure build for the next entry. So, best case right now for our position, or my position, is to get filled at 38.71. Puts the average right around 38.59 or so. And then go ahead and push up, retrace, build structure, and continue upwards, and give us another entry to add back again. Let's see what happens. There we go. Stop moved again. 38.56. See, where's our larger time frame at? So again, the whole premise of this trade, let me move this over. Get ready and see if I'm going to stop out on this or not. I'm going to protect this last piece. So the premise on this trade, what you're looking for on the 2-minute chart comparatively to the SPY or ES 15-minute chart, is that full-bodied candle we just drew, okay? Just like so. That's what you're looking for. That's going to cause that scenario that we just talked about. Retest, a little bit of move, and see if the SPY bulls try to get those 2 15-minute closes from this morning's analysis. If that occurs, they have a chance. If not, if they fail somewhere in this zone, then we can go ahead and look for another short opportunity to come on down into this. So, just depends on that. It's kind of what's going on right now on this 2-minute chart. So let's go back and to the live trade one. That's this one. I'm going to go ahead and take this last piece off. Look for re-entry on the structure build if it goes. Watching and waiting. And time is at 57.
Order filled.
All right. Out of that trade. So let's go ahead and wait to see if structure builds up or not after an up thrust. We need to see that since we're not going to close in that big full-bodied candle on the 15-minute chart. Not too bad. Ugh. Hopefully we get some lunch delivered soon. Getting a little bit hungry. What do you guys have for lunch today? Eggs and avocado. Nice. I actually like that combination. There's a place here where you get an egg in a hole. I think that's what it's called. Egg in a hole, if I remember right. It's essentially like avocado toast, right? But they put a hole in the middle of the bread, smother it in avocado, and then do a fried egg in the middle of it. It's so good. So good. Carnivore diet. There you go. Oh, look at that pop. Let's see where this goes. Still waiting. Don't get excited just because of a green candle. Without that full body close, it's not the same type of setup. So can this work here? If you're in, you can. Stop technically has not been hit. But remember, we're looking for that full bodied candle in this to actually create the full up thrust move, which will give you another entry if it comes back and builds structure. Well, that's an ouch. Look at that. Real big volume coming in. That bot. Take that trade. Yeah, the bot is in the trade. Did not get the profit target filled, so see how that one turns out. Now I'm hungry talking about all this avocado toast. Gonna have to order some tacos or avocado burger. Avocado burger sounds good. Those of you stuck around this far, I am very thankful. Hopefully you guys enjoying a little tidbits of lessons here and there. Sometimes I get on a rant, start blabbering on, but it's just part of it. I like how this spy is looking for the short. Remember, no full bodied candle. We're not really getting the full on build of structure and pushing. Still waiting to see what happens to these shorts here. So I believe the analysis today was 2 15-minute closes. So let me double check that because I do have that. Got Spy Bears closing a 15-minute candle below, and then Spy Bears closing two 15-minute candles below, 386.21. All right. Here we go. So there's that second 15-minute close, which is what we're on now. This comes back down, closes below. She's in trouble, and we'll be down in this zone today or in the after hours. Unfortunately, that's only 1 hour left in the day, so. Let's take a look. We have 10 minutes left in this candle. Let's go back to the trading screen. Here we go. Those of you members who are in, 2 yellow bar setup. Not too bad. Same thing that we had earlier on the short, right? So, not too shabby here. Trade technically has not gotten stopped out. Notice that the stop is trailing along with it. So, I went ahead and exited the position when it looked like it was going to fail. At that point in time, right there. Yeah, right there. So, just because my average was so high, because I had added back once already. Good with that trade though. Still nicely green on the day. Now we begin to watch. Wait, watch this 10-minute candle. So right around here, now that there we go, touch the upper thresholds. Remember the upper threshold is 38.73.25. This needs to get going and do our normal setup for longs, right? Nope. You are normal long setups. Come back up, build threshold or build structure. This will trail like so, somewhere in here, and then look for that to revert and keep going. Otherwise, that does not occur, especially now forming this two 15-minute close setup. This comes back down, closes below. This is a good opportunity for a short. So I'll probably go ahead and grab that trade. We'll see here in a sec. Thresholds there are there for a reason. So time is at 106. All right, she's fighting it. Let's pull up that spy chart for you guys. Talk through it. Talk what I'm thinking. I know we talk about these closes all the time. This is another one of those. It's going to be a very important close here. It's going to dictate the last hour of the day. All right, she's fighting it. 7 minutes left. Halfway through the candle. This is liquidity testing here. Does not look like it's got the juice. I'm not seeing volume. Not seeing anything in the order book. Not seeing major options activity. So for now, the preliminary look is that she is not going to be able to close above. Still waiting. I was looking for more water. Still no options activity. No order flow activity. Volumes are succeeding the previous. We have now got 6 minutes left on this close. It's going to be very interesting here. Watch this close. I'll start looking for a short. There's a 2-minute chart again. Threshold was hit. Reversion back. No different than all of the other numbers. All numbers act and react the same. Okay, these are not pivots, nothing of that sort. Those of you members know already. So we are close on the up thrust. Not close. We just discussed this earlier, right? Push, fail. Same thing. Just because it's a micro mini pattern doesn't make a difference. Okay, so that puts us same like here, right? Close, push, spike, and revert. And in this reversion is where you want to see it fail. Sometimes you'll see this at the up end of a move. When you're on the lower end of a move, you want to see this consolidation fail. Okay, so that looks like where we are now. We're at the lower end of a move. Came close, spike through. This is where you want to see this turn, which in line will be with that SPY 15-minute closing below. See how it all starts to play into a piece little by little? 4 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. Still no options activity. Still no order book. Looks like down it's going to be. I'm going to start looking for a short. Pull up that SPY chart. No 15-minute close yet. 3 minutes left. Watching and waiting. Doo -doo -doo -doo. Definitely got to put some elevator music on these. Actually, last week I think we were playing Rocket League, right, with a couple of you on the live stream. A couple of you were on, jumped on Rocket League. All right, 2 minutes left. Watching this 15-minute close. Still waiting. She's trying. How's that trade window looking? Okay, so now what you don't want to see for the bears. Okay, in the smaller time frame chart. It's going to coincide with the 15-minute. What you don't want to see is any closes up in this zone. So I'll go ahead and, oh, magnetism's on. There we go. So you start to see 2-minute closes up in this zone. It's a slight edge to the bulls. Okay, you want to see this next candle form, close below on that SPY chart. That closes below. You want to see the next candle start to revert and drip. Then you'll see a comeback up attempt, retest, an up thrust move. You want to see that up thrust move fail, which will put us right down in this zone. Okay, here comes a SPY close. 1 minute left, finally. Now pay attention here on this trading screen. See where this 2-minute closes go.
Order filled.
All right, starting a short here. We'll look for more if we can. Let's see what this 15-minute close does. 30 seconds. See if we get a chance to add to this or not. And SPY closed
Stop filled.
SPY closed above. So SPY closed above and went ahead and got out of that trade right there. So closing price is 386.24. Few cents above. Bulls won that battle. Now no interest in any short till we get a full-on break and retest and fail. Which by then, too late in the day. It's already 3:15. Let's go back to the trading screen. now let's watch this for, see if they can go ahead and get above that threshold one. Start to do the original long plan we had with a full-bodied candle. Full-bodied candle did not come to fruition, but oh well. So let's see, still nicely green on the day. We'll go ahead and lock that up unless we see another opportunity here. Answer some messages. And food is being delivered, guys. Awesome. So, looks like we'll be doing tacos today. It's been a long morning. Quite unfortunate of that spy closing above. Would have been better if they just got it over with and went down to that 379.42 today, fast and early, or now even. But now leaving it open like that, more bleeding ahead. Whether it's today, tomorrow, Friday, Sunday, Monday, but more bleeding ahead to go lower towards 379.42. But for now, let this up thrust come on in. See if the bot got that. Yeah, bot got profit. Nice on the bot trade. Thank you guys for the likes, all the comments, all the activity. You guys are awesome. Let's go ahead and look at that SPY chart. There's a SPY. Secondary closed above. Up thrust move to that move we originally had discussed. Right? Looking something like up here. See if they get those 15-minute closes. It's going to be a big, big win for the Bulls if that happens up in here. But being that it's already 3:18, a little bit late in the day. Waiting. So after that, we now have been on almost 2 hours. Not a bad one. We'll go ahead and close up the stream. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these tacos. They should be arriving here in about 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to go grab me a drink, get some tacos, finish up some meetings, and then we'll be in for the afternoon analysis and recaps later. So thank you guys for sticking here with us. I'm going to go ahead and close it up and see you guys in tomorrow's recap. Later, guys.